So these are the thoughts I'm thinking at the moment. We're talking a lot about a new earth, a new energy, a consciousness shift. And that's a tricky thing, right? Because the shift actually is us moving from our head into our heart. So it's nothing that can be learned. It's nothing that we can study, and we can't put it into a concept because it's a feeling experience. So it makes it tricky for most people because we're used to figuring things out. We're used to working out what we need to do and getting ourselves to certain places. But now that's not possible. The only way in is through the feeling experience, through presence. And if that's true, then it makes sense to me that the way in is actually through my feeling state. So I all of a sudden have to become in tune with the way I feel. I also need to build a relationship with my feeling self, because if I don't, my feeling self can react, can keep me stuck in patterns and in loops, and I don't want that because I want to feel free. I want to shift into a new feeling state. So I've been thinking about this in terms of our conditioning and our programming. And if you think about Maslow's theory, like it was a theory of what is, and he described duality. He described the separation state very well, because we're separated from our wholeness, we feel fearful, and we can't do anything else other than scurry really fast to try and make sure that we're safe. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been accumulating material goods and relationships and people and doing all of this stuff to make ourselves feel safe, having more babies, all of these things we've been doing to meet emotional needs that were playing out in our reality. So according to Maslow, we have to meet all of these needs first so we feel secure enough so that we can actually finally turn around and look at ourselves and do our self-development. True in that paradigm. However, in a new consciousness, that isn't true. The truth is that I start with myself, that I bring myself back into wholeness. And from that place where there is no fear, I interact with my life. I'm trusting, but I'm also taking action. I'm in alignment with myself. I am not trying to implement my life founded on fear or lack. Instead, my life is founded on love and already having enough. Which means as I go out into my life, I'm present, I'm whole. So I actually don't need anything from anyone. I turn up in a way where I don't have any needs from you. Like, you can just be who you want to be. There's no push and pull dynamics. I receive what comes to me when I'm out doing what I love to do and giving service. That's a very different model than what we've been conditioned to believe is true. Now, I think it's just pertinent right now to say that it's very easy to believe something's true when you're told by an expert, right? Like, I remember a long time ago, I used to watch videos and somebody would say, and this is how it is, and you'd think, oh, they know. And so you just take it on board. You wouldn't question it. I wouldn't question it. But now I listen to things, and just because they tell me with conviction, just because that's how they see it, doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true for me. So I've learned now to be a lot more discerning about what I take on as true. And to be honest, most of the things that I know, because there's a difference, right, between my truth and the truth. I've come to these observations and understandings through experience, not because somebody's told me. It's a feeling that I get. It's a knowing that I have. It's an observation of what's working, of what's flowing, of what seems to unfold in a natural state. So this is all about us returning to our natural state, naturally, living naturally. Nature is easy, right? It just exists. It just flows. It just grows and dies and drops leaves and whatever it does. It's easy. It's full of ease and freedom because there's no energy put into trying to control, trying to hang on to dead leaves. Like, it just doesn't happen. So a new consciousness is when we return to that natural state in ourselves. There's no hanging on to things. There's no trying to manipulate other people. There's nothing that we need. We feel whole and satisfied. And so life becomes very easy. The other thing I was thinking around this was, while we're turning Maslow's theory upside down, so in one reality, Maslow's is the triangle, and in a new consciousness, it's upside down. When you think about the symbology of the heart, because I was thinking about this morning and I was thinking, why do we draw hearts the way we do? Where did that eventuate? Where did that symbol of a heart eventuate? I'm sure it sort of looks like our physical heart, sort of, but not really. So where did it come from? Where and why do we have that symbol? And the more I looked at it, I thought, well, it's an upside down triangle, right? It's the same. Upside down triangle. It's like energy starting with the self, the wholeness, and spreading out from there. From that point, I go out into my life and I build connection rather than division. I spread love rather than resentment and despondence. I feel joyful rather than helpless and powerless. So this is just my conversation on my lounge, very relaxed, because I really felt like I wanted to share these ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sending you love.